Hi everybody, Wendy from Cinnamon Sweet Shop. This week I'm going to be making a sweet cream cake. Only a handful of ingredients, most of it easy to find. And what you will need is some flour. Again, I always use my whole wheat pastry flour. You can use some sugar. Now, I'm trying to keep this sugar free. Again, if you're following those New Year's resolutions to lose weight or eat healthier, then you're going to want a sugar substitute, all natural sugar substitute, none of that Splenda stuff, please. So I'm using a Stevia blend, and it's a cup for cup measure. And for those that have questioned about, well, is that all natural? Well, Stevia is all natural. It's mixed, the blend is mixed with maltodextrin, which may sound like a chemically name, but maltodextrin is an all natural ingredient as well. My homemade vanilla extract, a little bit of salt. I'm using heavy cream, and not really anything so terrible about heavy cream these days if you buy the good stuff, the organic stuff, as long as it's within moderation, of course. But if you are trying to keep it a little healthier, by all means you can use a coconut cream instead, or you can even use a cashew milk. Eggs, baking powder, and I'm going to be using for the frosting my chocolate cocoa butter buttercream, which the recipe that I featured last week. Beat the eggs in your beater until they are a light pale yellow in color. You can see this is thick, pale yellow, and very foamy. While the mixer is on low, I'm going to slowly add in the sweetener. Make sure you scrape down the sides in between to make sure it all gets mixed in real well. In a separate bowl, sift together all of the dry ingredients. So I have the flour, the salt, and the baking powder. So to make this a little bit easier, save a bit of time, I'm combining the vanilla into the heavy cream, just adding it in. I'm not really going to mix it up. And now we're going to alternatively add in the flour, just 1/3, and then 1/3 of the cream, and 1/3 of the flour, 1/3 of the cream, until it's all gone. Don't forget, again, scrape down those sides. I have here an 8-inch round cake pan. Sprayed it real well with spray and then floured it, or you can use one of those pre-done flour sprays. It's a spray with flour already in it. I'm going to put the entire batter in the one pan. If you want to make this a layer cake, you can use 2 8-inch pans, and then you'll just have the 2 cakes and you can fill the center. This will go into a 350-degree oven for about 25 to 30 minutes, and or until it passes the toothpick test. The toothpick test is, insert a toothpick. If the center comes out clean, it's done. My cake is cooled. I let it cool down to room temperature. I did trim off the top, turned it upside down. Now I'm going to get ready to frost it. And again, I'm using my chocolate cocoa butter buttercream frosting that I showed you how to make last week's video. I did heat it up a bit because it was in the refrigerator, and I let it cool down a little just to get it to this consistency. I'm not going to make this look real fancy like it came from a bakery. I want this to look a little messier because I want it to look homemade. So I'm just going to pour or dump on some of this icing and just quickly go over it. Now you can keep it like this. Looks pretty good, or you can make it a little bit fancier and put some toppings on it. I'm using some Jimmy's. You can see how fluffy this cake looks. Really delicious, very easy to make, not a lot of ingredients. You can make it as well. You can make it a little healthier. Again, this is sugar-free. Even the chocolate frosting that I made, buttercream, is sugar-free as well. Again, look at last week's recipe for that. You could also check out the link below for this recipe, all my other recipes. Subscribe to this website, this YouTube channel for much more. See you next time.